That's 4 snaps for you, baby.
Oh shit, it's Sunday again.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sunday, bitch. Yeah,
Getting that cream,
I want the cream. Give daddy that cream.
getting that cream. Getting that cream.
Brace yourself for the cream.
Hey friends, welcome to yet another episode of CPS. I am Josh, and with me as always is my greasy little creamsicle daddy, Rick. Rick, how you doing today? Talk to me, baby.
I'm feeling quite creamy on a Sunday. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go.
All right, word. I feel like shit. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I was a little groggy myself. I don't usually sleep in past 8 much anymore, but I slept into like 9:30, and I kind of felt like I slept out a portion of the day. But I don't know. I spent all yesterday basically staring at my computer, so
Yeah.
I stayed up kind of late anyways.
Yeah, I was up a little bit late. I was watching like The Longest Yard on Netflix with Lita, but it's a classic movie. But yeah, man, I just felt like shit. I feel like shit all day. I don't know what the hell's going on. I smoked a little last night, and I was thinking it was like a weed hangover or something, but I guess not. I don't know. Maybe I'm coming down with something, but it's you wake up and you're cold, but you're sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and your skin is kind of crawling a little bit, but I went to the gym today and I just ran. I didn't lift. Played a little tennis. Fucking pretty annoying. There's only one tennis court in our whole community, and it was being used, so we're just driving in circles waiting for people to finish so we could play.
What the hell's the temperature down there right now?
It's in the 50s, or low 60s.
So people are playing tennis. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't see people walking around by my house playing tennis. That's the last thing they'd be doing.
Yeah. Is it cold?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty chilly.
It's been a little chilly down here at night, but it still gets up. It still gets up there.
I mean, we haven't had a lot of snow or anything, but yeah, it's just like continuously cold. Like it gets above freezing like half the days. But yeah, it's pretty chilly.
Yeah. So before we left last week, I was about to see the Avatar movie.
Oh my goodness, how was it?
It was good. No spoiler. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but it was good. It was good. It was I think when the first one came out, it kind of came out of nowhere. Nobody's really expecting it to be what it was. So
yeah,
that one really knocked my cock off. This one was a little bit it was good. It was great. It just didn't have the same effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, they've basically been working on that thing for like 10 years.
Yeah, at least. The first one came out in 2009, I think.
Yeah, at least 10 years they've been working on it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It was supposed to come out like a few times, and then I think COVID set it back again. They didn't want to release it during COVID. I think
it sucks because we were talking about this the other day, and I wanted to go see it, but like the closest IMAX is like 2 hours away.
That's wild.
So it's
man.
like it's quickly going to go from like watching it on an IMAX and paying like $16 to see it to like I'll watch it illegally online on like my phone. It's
you
like
should
that
buy
just doesn't
movies.
serve it justice.
How come you don't buy movies? You always get them illegal.
Well, I don't pirate anything anymore because everything's on streaming.
Oh, but you used to pirate a lot. But you're a guy that makes videos. It's funny because you're like in the industry kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you know, like if you want to make money on movies one day, shouldn't you pay for them?
yeah, but if you're a kid that doesn't want to get involved in buying music and buying media, I mean, you kind of got to figure it out. I mean, even my editing programs, Adobe Premiere is the first program I ever paid for.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay for an editing program until I was like 23.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you, I never got into how to do any of that. I never learned how to torrent things, but I know Pirate Bay was a thing for a while.
Yeah, Pirate Bay was like the fourth link in my favorites for probably a good 12 years. I think I started because like it first started with like
LimeWire,
Rapid Share or something. It was something like I was in 6th or 7th grade, and my buddy Tyler would like have music, and he'd upload it onto a website, and then he'd send me a link, and I'd download it. And like that's how I got my music, was directly through him. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I had LimeWire. That was pretty much the furthest I went down that rabbit hole.
I had Frostwire, but even that kind of skeeved me out because I mean, you hear about these people that get their freaking front door kicked in and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before people knew how to set up VPNs and all that too.
Yeah, I mean now it's so easy. I mean, I ultimately got to the point where it's like, I think I did like an update on my computer, and then it went from like an app to like a plugin on Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I'm not fucking around with that. And from that point on, that was basically the gravestone for that whole aspect of my life.
Yeah. Dude, I wanted to ask you, you're a WWE fan.
I'm a wrestling fan, yeah.
What do you think about the rumor that Saudi Arabia bought the WWE? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I kind of talked about this with my dad.
Really?
So I'll kind of enlighten you and everybody else, but me and my dad have been like diehard wrestling fans since I was like a little kid. And even though I don't even have cable, I follow everything on like social media and I watch videos on YouTube. And my dad will talk to me about something that happened in like AEW Dark, which is like the third biggest show in AEW. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I saw the clip on Instagram. It's like very strange. But yeah, dude, that's like the whole Vince McMahon thing, because he basically got taken out of office for like a sexual misconduct deal.
Right.
And
wasn't
then
he was paying off
do you know who
bunch of ladies, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, do you know who Triple H is?
Yeah, I know. I went to Triple H's house, remember?
Oh, yes. You did.
Yeah, he's married to Stephanie McMahon, right?
Yep. So he basically ran the company and he kind of put them in like the right direction. And then Vince came out of nowhere. He's like, nope, fuck you. I'm back in control. And then like a day later, he's like, I'm selling to Saudi Arabia. It's like, you are such a money hungry whore, dude. Like, what are you doing?
That's crazy. So it's legit then. It's not just a rumor. They actually are selling it.
Or they're just doing it for publicity, dude. I mean, that whole thing is a freaking circus act. Like everybody that's involved, everybody that's in charge, the shit you see on TV, like everything is just so controlled, dude.
Maybe it is just for publicity. I mean, it's working. I heard about it, and I don't watch wrestling.
I mean, you think about it. If you're Vince McMahon, what's a bigger story? You coming out of retirement and going back into being the CEO, or you selling the company? Oh, he doesn't sell the company, and all of a sudden nobody remembers that you were a pervert or whatever the deal was.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's the perfect time to pretend to sell to Saudi Arabia.
Nobody gets canceled to the end of their life, dude. I mean, we were talking about the Bill Cosby thing the other day. Like, now he is free and able to do whatever he wants because you're canceled, and then you can come back. I mean, it's everything heals with time, dude. It really does.
I mean, dude, the thing about McMahon is, what is he? He's got to be old as shit now, right?
At least, I would say at least 70, probably to like 75, yeah.
So if he's in his 70s, he's a giant human. So he was a great wrestler, right?
No, Vince McMahon was, I mean, he wrestled, but I would never call him like a wrestler.
Okay, but he's a beast of a human being. I mean, he's pretty jacked for being in his 70s.
I don't know how much anymore. I mean, when he was in his 50s, he was in pretty good shape a couple times. He got pretty buff, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure by this point he lives a pretty mellow lifestyle. I mean, you're never going to see him like getting a wrestling match again for the rest of his life. Like that's way beyond his capability.
Yeah. Well, he owns the WWE though, or did, right? Before he stepped down. I think it's kind of cool.
I mean,
that he's slinging dick out there. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, wouldn't you expect a guy like that? I mean, unless he was doing something perverted or illegal, wasn't he just paying off ladies with the company money or something?
I think it was something. I don't know. It's like I should almost look this up, but like basically, I think it was somebody. He gave somebody an opportunity because like they did something sexual for him, and like that was basically it. Like some like no name talent that was just trying to get signed or something. He might have been like rub my kneecap or something. You know what those old guys say or whatever. But
yeah, creepy weird thing. Rub my kneecap. Is that code for give me an HJ over the pants HJ? Rub the old kneecap there, Sonny.
And I want you to make eye contact the whole time. And if you blink, you got to start over from nothing.
That's right.
Jesus.
Oh, it must take a guy like Vince McMahon so long to get off his old fucking balls. Gross.
He probably has to stretch, dude. I mean, to be totally honest.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I feel like shit. I apologize if I'm a little groggy during this, but the show must go on, so I figured I would do it anyways. I just feel off, man. You know, I was just in the shower before this. Like I said, I was playing some tennis and stuff, but You ever just have random coughing fits? I was just staring at the wall, washing my nutties or whatever, and then all of a sudden I just feel like I'm choking. I'm just like, it's like a ghost put his dick down my throat or something when I was in the shower.
No, I mean, I've definitely had coughing fits in the past, but yeah, it's not like it kind of stop and hits me. It's usually now if I drink wrong, which you think by now I know how to do it, but half the time I freaking choke it down.
Yeah.
I'm like a fucking 4-year-old at Wendy's, just like trying to choke down a soda.
You ever used to do that thing when you were a kid and you mix all the sodas together?
Yeah, and you sit down and you think it's the greatest idea in the world, and then it just tastes like dog shit.
Yeah. Like, oh man, I invented a new soda. It's like, no, you didn't. kids think they're so fucking smart, but you look back and you're like, oh man, it wasn't that smart.
Dumbass.
Fucking,
Yeah.
Morons. Yeah. We used to call it a kamikaze when you mix all the sodas together.
Is that did it have a name?
That's what we called it when I was a kid.
Oh,
I don't know.
I never even gave it a name. It's just I'm going to get everything in the same fucking cup and see what happens.
Yeah. I used to bartend, and there was this couple that came in, and they would request beers to be mixed together. Like they would, first of all, when you bartend or when you serve, the most annoying thing is when you're trying to get somebody a beer and they want to do like 25 samples of different beers because you work at a place that sells craft beer. So they're always like, they do this, they all do the same symbol like with their finger. They're like, can I just try a little bit? Can I just try some? And they do this thing where they put, you know what I mean? Their index finger and their thumb, like just like, can I just try a little bit? And they do that. Some people will do it for like 10 different beers. And it's like, dude, I'm fucking busy. Just be an adult and order a beer. And if you don't like it that much, don't order it again. I don't know what to tell you. But you know what I mean? What style of beer do you like? Do you want an IPA? Do you want like a craft IPA? They're all pretty relatively similar. They're not going to be so gross you can't drink it. Just fucking drink the thing, you know? But this couple would always request beers to be mixed together. Like they would try a bunch of different IPAs and they would sit there and they would sip on them all and act like their palate was good enough for them to be able to tell the difference. And then they would be like, you know what? I think this one would be good mixed with this one. And they would be like, can you just do half of this IPA and half of that IPA, like mixed together? And then I would do it for them. And half the time I'd go around the corner and not even do it. I would just pour them one beer and they wouldn't even know. And then they would be like sipping it and be like, oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, wow. That's so good. That's such a good idea. I'm just thinking to myself, bro, so you think that the stupid invention in your head of you mixing these two beers together is better than like a brewer at a craft brewery who came up with this recipe specifically to taste a certain way? You know what I mean?
Everybody's a scientist, man. Everybody knows what they're doing.
Everybody thinks they're a genius, but it's just like, it reminded me of when I was a little kid mixing orange soda with Coke and thinking it was the best shit ever, but it really was gross. It's like an adult version of that. Like you're a moron.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I mean, unless you're getting like, I mean, I used to do the same thing, probably more with slushies. I mean, I probably got more slushies than like soft drinks as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going, ride my bike like 2 miles away to the gas station, like 79-cent big slurp or whatever the hell it was. And you mix like the red cola and then the purple grape and the blueberry and all that good stuff. And you drink half of it. You have brain freeze on the side of the road. It's a good time. But yeah. I mean, I probably mixed more slushies than I had sodas over the years to TBH, you know?
Yeah. Slushies, I get it. You know, the old 7-Eleven slushie. I get an ad on my phone all the time. There's a new 7-Eleven in town where we live, and there's actual ads on podcasts for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like, hey, Waxaw, there's a new 7-Eleven in town. I'm like, what the hell? They're actually advertising the 7-Eleven? Yeah.
Those 7-Elevens are strange because like I can go to one in like Manchester or like the one by you and it'll be like a respectable, like, all right, 19-year-old, like just, you know, just kind of working whatever. And then like I've been to other ones where it's like a dude with like a dragon fighting a lion, like carved into like his skull. And then like flame tattoos coming out of his like eye holes. And it's like, who are you? Good job, dude. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You mad at your dad?
One of those.
Yeah, you're right. I hate my father. Dude, so are you going to watch that new Brendan Fraser movie, the comeback movie, The Whale? You see the ads for that?
I am, yeah. I saw the trailer when it first came out and it looked pretty cool.
It looks great.
I mean, it'll be like one of the artsy, I don't know, I call it
Yeah.
experimental film. It's really not, but like it's not like a common film that would do particularly well. But I think this one's gonna like break all sorts of records and shit.
Yeah, apparently it has at a bunch of film festivals already. But I was thinking about seeing it. It looks really good, and I guess his acting is really good. The trailer looks good. But I was thinking about it, and just the idea of the movie, if without any context, if somebody pitched me that movie, I would think it's the funniest fucking thing I ever heard in my life.
Isn't it like a fat dude and like his daughter is doing? I know nothing about the movie really.
Yeah, it's like, well, how about we just get Brendan Fraser, but we'll make him like 1,000 pounds, and he'll crawl around his apartment in the dark and crying, and then we'll call it The Whale. It's kind of a wild concept.
Well, it's actually based off of a play.
Oh, is the play about a fat dude too?
Yeah, it's called The Whale.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like a Broadway thing.
Broadway's interesting.
I think the only thing I ever would have had interest to go see was Book of Mormon. I think that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, the South Park dudes.
Dude, I love the South Park guys.
Yeah, they're
really
the
do.
best.
Yeah.
Dude, Justin Roiland, huh? Or Roiland, or how do you say his name? Roiland, right?
Yeah, Roiland, yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know, man. I see shit like that where it's like somebody gets famous and like to like his I mean, he's not famous, but he's rather well known by this point.
I mean, yeah, co-creator of Rick and Morty. That's a pretty big deal.
But and then like you see these stories that come out like 5 years before, and it's like this happened. And it's like, I wonder if that story would have been in the news if this person didn't get to that level of fame. You know, like one of those deals.
Definitely not. I mean, if he was a regular dude, how many domestic violence charges are there every day? It wouldn't make the news. But it kind of sucks if he actually did it, because I was like, I mean, I'm a fan, obviously, of Rick and Morty. I don't know much about him, but he's been on podcasts. I've heard him in interviews and stuff. He always seemed cool. It would kind of suck if he actually did beat up his lady.
All right. Well, here's my argument for why he cannot be canceled. Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Solar Opposites. Koala Man. He did some other animated thing. He has that new video game that's came out. He has his own video game studio. Dude, he has too much going on. He can't, like, if he were to get in like deep shit, the whole world is not going to fall apart for him. Like, he's already totally set, dude.
Like, he's got too many people are making too much money off of him.
I don't think enough people give a shit to like really make a difference in like, I mean, will he lose opportunities and stuff like that? Yeah, but I think ultimately like I don't know. I mean, I'm also saying that without really knowing anything about the case at all. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
you know,
he might
situation.
not. It might not affect his career, but it does. I'm just saying it kind of sucks if he actually did beat up a lady. You know.
Yeah, he
He's
seems
not as cool of a guy as I thought he was. That's all.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, it kind of blows. Maybe he didn't do it. Who knows? Was he charged or convicted or whatever? I mean, didn't he just get charged and it's an old case? I don't know anything about it.
I think it was from 2020. But yeah, I guess it was like a battery case or something. But yeah, I don't know much about it.
And that's the thing. Battery could mean so many different things, couldn't it?
Yeah, like if you trip somebody intentionally.
Right. Like he could have just, I don't know. It's a pretty wide range of things. It could be.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Who knows? I know that if I had a Xbox One, I would probably get the, have you seen any of the trailers for High on Life?
High on Life, no.
The video, so Justin Roiland came out with a video game studio a couple years ago. He came out with like a VR thing.
Oh,
and then he came out with like a first person shooter. And basically you have like 6 different guns. Each of the guns talk to you and they're like just like a little alien bug kind of deal. And it's just like Rick and Morty, Solar Opposites humor, the whole game. And like it's a first person shooter and you're just like kind of exploring shit. But it's only for PC and Xbox One. And I was like debating on getting the Xbox just to play that. But I don't know. It's if it came out for PS5, I would have it like now. So I don't know. Check it out.
Yeah, no, I've heard about it before. It does look cool. It does look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got going on
Well,
this week?
I don't know. I started
Anything
making like
exciting?
YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
What's that?
Anything exciting?
No, I don't know. Kyle Ham's coming over for his birthday, and we're gonna watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I've never seen that.
Dude, me either, but I've heard a lot about it. It's
So we're gonna watch.
who's that author?
It's was it Hunter S. Thompson?
Yeah, and it's Johnny Depp plays him, right?
I think so. I don't even know, dude. I feel like I should know more about this movie, but yeah, I've never seen it, so I really know like so little about it.
That's cool. That'll be cool to watch.
But yeah, he was gonna come over and we are gonna watch that, and then basically we are gonna plan out like a music video to do like that kind of matches that kind of vibe. So it'll be something like that. Pretty cool. What are you doing, GI man?
Dude, I'm flying down to Tampa on Tuesday. Flying down to Tampa
work?
for 3 days. Yeah, for work. We're going on
Nice.
hopefully I feel better by then. I'm sure I'll be fine. But we're going on a little cruise, a little dinner cruise. We're going to a restaurant somewheres. Couple meetings, but mostly work stuff. We'll see. It'll be cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never been on that side of Florida. I've just pretty much been to Central Florida. So, be cool to look around, see what it's all about. It's a pretty short distance from where we live, you know. It's like an hour flight. So,
Is there any crazy weather going on there right now? Because I know all over like the U.S. there's like tornadoes going like hundreds of miles, and
oh really? I just know
there's the whole place is going to hell. I don't even know what's going on. I don't watch the news. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that the monsoons in California are pretty crazy. Or typhoons, or what are they called? A lot of rain in California right now. It's like flooding. Yeah. Yeah. Lita is from California, obviously. I lived out there for a while, but all her friends and her sisters and stuff sending her videos of just places flooding and pretty nuts.
Is the world still on fire? Are there still crazy fires going on right now, or is it like not fire season?
No, there's always fires going on in California. I don't think it's fire season right now. But yeah, there's always they have a fire problem, big time. But right now they have a rain problem. It's just ironic because they don't get any rain. So when they do get rain, they're just not ready for it. Their streets aren't built for it. The drainage isn't there. I guess people just don't know how to drive in the rain. It's just a whole thing. It's like a desert out there. It never rains. So if it rains for a week straight, they can't handle it. It's not designed for it, you know?
Whereas I feel like it's rained 4 days in the last week here,
Yeah, and it's no big deal. That's just normal.
and it doesn't affect anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, the snow melts.
Yeah, you guys still got snow on the ground? Has it melted at all?
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, we never really got a lot of snow. I mean, we probably got the biggest storm in November. That's
Yeah.
like the biggest hit the whole freaking season, which is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Whatever. I'll take it.
Anything on your mind that pisses you off? I got a couple things.
It pissed me off.
I'm in a
Gym-
sour mood because I feel like shit.
All right, man. I'm ready to drop it. All right. Freaking gym etiquette, dude. If
I would-
you're working
dude,
out, in
That's
front of the
hilarious.
dumbbells,
That's one of the things on
you
my
can
list.
move the seat more than 18 inches away from the dumbbells. So when you're laying down doing whatever the fuck you're doing,
Mhm.
that way I can walk in front of you and grab the dumbbells. But instead, you're like sitting there huffing and puffing. And it's like, dude, you really want to like lick my butthole as I grab these 35s, and that's not
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
So it's you. Stop doing that. Come on.
I would. Yeah, absolutely. It's insane. And you know what else? When they stand at the dumbbell rack and they do like lawnmower pulls or back, and they're like leaning over the dumbbells instead of just taking a step back, or they're doing curls directly in front of the rack. Like pick up the dumbbells and take a step back so other people can grab dumbbells or walk past. Do you know what I mean?
Dude, I was at Planet Fitness last weekend, and there were these two probably college age girls in front of like the middle rack of dumbbells. So that goes from like 30 to 50 or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And I was going to grab like the 40s, and they're like doing these like body weight squats with their heels on like a 25-pound plate, but they're like an 12 inches from the freaking dumbbells. And I'm like standing there watching them, and I'm like, you need to move because I need to get these dumbbells.
Yeah.
And eventually I said, fuck it. And I like literally would like walk in front of them and take my time and like move the shit. But it's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're not even using a fucking bench. And like, why aren't you back like 5 feet from the mirror like a normal person? I was like, what in what world does this make sense?
Some people are just completely ignorant, so they just don't know. And then some people are just assholes and they just don't care. I don't know, or both. You know?
I don't know, man. So I go to my gym in Keene like pretty much Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, Sunday, I go to Planet Fitness because it's closer to my house. But I have noticed that the number of issues that I get at Planet Fitness is just so staggering. Like I was trying to like swap benches between like the squat rack and like the dumbbells.
Yep.
And there's some dude that's like walking, or no, he's just standing there talking to somebody. And I have my headphones in. I'm like, excuse me. And he like turns and looks at me and I said, excuse me. And he starts walking away. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like right behind him. And then he stops and he walks backwards and he steps on the bench that I'm moving. And he looks at me and I have my headphones in. And I literally like, by that point, I was like, all right, I give no fucks. I just look at him like, sorry, dude, thought you said you were moving. And then I fucking moved the bench. I put it down. I slammed it down. I went over and did my shit. And like the whole time he like every so often he'd glance over at me. It's like, dude, I'm not the one that has the problem. It's the fact that I said, excuse me twice and you looked at me and then you walk into me anyways. And you're giving me the stink eye. Like, dude, you can go fucking pound sand.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that guy.
And I'm just like, it's funny because like I had my headphones. I didn't take my headphones out the whole time. And he starts talking to me and I just walked away or whatever. And yeah, I'm like on the opposite side of the gym. And like if you look at the reflection of the mirror, basically goes to the front of the store, which is where he was. And I'd be like doing workouts and I look around and this motherfucker's like staring me down in the mirror. It's like, what are you going to murder me in the freaking locker room, dude? Like, what the hell is going on, man? It's just so strange.
People are odd.
It just weirds me out, dude.
It's funny because you look at that guy like he's crazy and you know, everything, but I could totally see myself getting pissed off like that guy about something silly too. You know what I mean? It's definitely my fault because I've been there, you know?
I mean, I'm just like the dude that wears like the cut tank and I got the tattoos on my arms and shit. And I mean, I don't know what people think when they look at me or whatever. And if I'm huffing and puffing, walking around and bumping into people, like I don't want people to get the wrong idea and pick a fight with me because I don't want to pick a fight with anybody else. But
maybe they
like,
think
dude,
you're acting like a cock and who knows.
It's like, read the room, man. Like, show like a little respect to like yourself and like this kind of environment. Like the people that go out to public and just like, well, this is, I don't have to act a certain way. This is free country. It's like, dude, fuck off. Like if you're going to be around people, you should be like decent around people. Like the people I've had to see like get dragged out of like fucking, where was I? Applebee's. I saw a dude get dragged out of Applebee's because he was hammered. And the waitress refused to get him more drinks. And he's like, well, this is an establishment where I don't know, I'm paying for it. Like, it's not a big deal. And she's like, no, because we can't have people acting like this in a family restaurant. And he just fucking went off and the owner came out and like kicked them out. And it was like this big whole thing. And I'm sitting there. It's like, how are you hammered at like 3 on a Sunday afternoon, dude?
At Applebee's of all places.
In Applebee's. And you're getting kicked out.
Dude, to get kicked out of Applebee's is pretty low.
Oh my God. It just blew my mind. It's like, show a little decency for yourself, man.
Yeah. I thought this was a free country. Well, dude, it is a free country. That's why businesses have the right, they reserve the right to refuse service to anybody. That's a whole part of the free country thing. It's, you know, free market.
People are always watching, man. I mean, I'm just the guy that was there that day and watched this happen. And now I'm just speaking out into the universe. Like, dude, you embarrassed yourself. I don't know your name. I don't know where you came from, but you definitely fucked up that day, man. I'm sure I was not the only one taking mental notes.
There's these kids at my gym that it's a small community gym, the one I go to sometimes, right here. And there's signs in the gym everywhere that say shirts must be worn, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's these kids, these like scrawny kids. I mean, they're in good shape. They're probably in high school, you know, or whatever. They're always taking their shirts off and working out and sweating all over the benches and stuff. Or like they'll be doing pull-ups and like looking in the mirror. And it's like, dude, who are you trying to impress though? Are you trying to look cool in front of your friends? Are you trying to impress the middle-aged women that are doing a Zumba class? You know, like we live in a community. There's no chicks around here. So it's just odd that I don't know what the deal, like they'll come in the gym with their shirt on and they won't even be sweaty. Then they'll take their shirt off and then start working out. You know,
I have a story, but have you ever been petty to somebody at the gym?
Define petty and define gym. What do you mean?
So at my when I lived in Pembroke, so before I moved in over here or whatever, I still lived in my parents' house, and I went to Health Club of Concord, and they have a basketball hoop, and like right below it's like the gym area was basically like a double layer kind of deal, and so like you can play basketball and then go up and work out, whatever. There's this one bigger kid, rather athletic. He would always do like the heaviest, like I'd see him bench like 350, and he's like doing crazy curls and like muscle ups and all this other shit. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like walking around, and there's like 140-pound dumbbell just like sitting in the middle of the freaking like walk area. And I'm up there with like a dude who's probably 75, and then another older lady who's must have been at least 80. And I'm like walking around, and one of the guy goes up and he goes, "Excuse me, is that your weight?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Huh."
140-pound dumbbell.
I'm like, I don't know how that got there. And then I remember, I'm like, oh no, that guy that was up here earlier, he was doing, I don't remember what he was doing, but he was doing crazy weight. And he just left this dumbbell like in the middle of like in between like two different benches for bench press.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just weird. So I was kind of annoyed. So I went over to the side of the workout area, and I see him, and he's playing like 3-on-3 basketball. So I take my headphones out. Hey buddy. And everybody kind of stops, and he's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, you done with this $140 pound dumbbell up here? What? No, are you done with the dumbbell? Yeah. Oh no, don't worry. I'll put it away for you. Okay. And I put it away. And I'm like, what a fucking jackass, dude. Maybe I'm the jackass. I don't know.
Well, yeah. It's tough because you gotta look back at the situation. I don't know. I wasn't there, but maybe he legitimately forgot.
It just irked me so bad. It's just like the old guy was like, can you put that away for me? And I'm like, yeah, I suppose I could.
Yeah, well, the old guy probably too old to move it. Maybe he didn't want to hurt himself.
Yeah, and well, that's exactly what it was. It's like as much as he weighs.
Yeah. Maybe the douche actually forgot and didn't know, you know? Or maybe he's a dick and deserved it. I don't know.
I reminded him.
Good. Good. So
yeah, dude, the gym stuff fires me up, man.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where you got a lot of adrenaline going. You're working through some things, and people are exceptionally dickish at the gym for some reason. I don't know why.
You ever see these videos of these kids deadlifting and like Karen's just going up and blasting at them?
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny.
You ever get yelled at for deadlifting?
No. I really no, I haven't. I used to go to like a couple of bodybuilder type gyms though, where it was acceptable, you know? Mm-hmm. Where there's chalk and stuff. And then Gold's Gym, I had Gold's Gym, and then ever since I fucked up my back, I don't deadlift. So it's been a couple of years. But
well, deadlifts really aren't worth it, dude. Other than improving like how much you can deadlift, it's really not a good like to me the risk does not outweigh the reward.
If you're an athlete, I mean, they are good for you. They're good for your lower back. They're good for your legs. It is a full body sort of. They do make you more dense and stronger. I think they are really good for you, but like you said, man, it's too risky with my back. I don't want to herniate another disc. That was a miserable year and a half of my life. I don't want to relive, you know?
I mean, even the guy that I lived with like a couple days a week, I mean, he basically hurt his back like 2 months ago deadlifting, and that's like the only time he ever gets hurt is like from deadlifting. It's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna get back into it. The most I ever did was like 435 for one, and like that's about all I ever needed to do.
Yeah,
it's not even that much.
I mean, that's decent. That's a decent amount of weight for sure.
I mean, in my eyes, like I can get up to like 405 for one within a month from like not doing it at all. Like I could definitely get up through like 315 for probably like 4 or 5, like no problem right now.
Yeah.
It's just weird muscles, dude. It's like you do an exercise for the first time and you're like, oh, that's pretty nice. Mm-hmm. And then you like wake up the next day and you're like, holy shit. Like,
yeah, it takes some time.
Like even last week, like there was one point where I woke up and like, holy shit, my biceps haven't been sore the day after in like months. Like, cause I just did a different exercise that I never do.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. It always takes a couple days and then it's like, Jesus Murphy. Dude, I started, everybody's been talking about Chat GPT, that new OpenAI bot. Have you heard about that?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, well, if you Google Chat GPT, it's on a website that's OpenAI, and it's released to the public right now to use. Eventually, you're gonna have to pay for it, I guess, or something. But they're running experiments, so they release it to the public, and it's like this AI robot that you can talk to. You just type and have a conversation with it, but it's remarkable about like how quickly it can respond to any subject. It's kind of like, and it sounds, it speaks like a human. You could ask it to write you write me an essay on this real quick. And it'd be like, all right, what do you want me to talk about? And then it'll just do it for you instantly. But you can talk to it and be like, ask it questions, and it's like another human. It just doesn't have any opinions on anything. Like if you ask it, I tried to ask it what the best religion was, and they're like, well, that depends. It's all open to interpretation and this and that. It sends me back a paragraph, and it's like, I don't really know because I'm not a human, you know?
I'm a robot. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. That's pretty cool.
And then I'm like, all right, cool. Well, thank you. Have a good night. It's like, yeah, well, I don't really understand the concept of time like a human would, but I guess, you know, let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. It's weird. It's weird. Chat GPT. Dude, you should try it out. It's kind of freaky.
Sounds pretty cool.
It is cool. It's like Alexa or Google Home or any of those other ones, but it's instant and it's through text. And I think it knows a lot more. It's odd.
Okay.
It's odd. Yeah. Dude, you know what's funny? It's a UPS truck. There's a UPS guy in my neighborhood. And you know the uniform for UPS guys?
Yeah, the all brown.
Yeah. It just so happens he's a black dude whose the color of his skin is the exact same color as his uniform.
Yes.
Like the perfect shade. It's like he's a UPS brown. So, but he's a UPS guy, and I'll see him from a distance, and it looks odd. It looks like he's either naked or he's just wearing a full bodysuit or something. It's happened to me like 3 times, and I'm like, oh, that's just the black dude. That's the color of the UPS. That's funny though, because it's just like it just happens to have that's his shade, you know.
You just have like a naked UPS male. Like his suit is just painted on. He really is just naked. And you're just like, it's like when you do that second look, you're like, no, he is wearing clothing. You're like, no, wait a second. No, he's not. It's like the airbrush shit.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't notice till he turns aside and I see the shape of his cock and balls.
He's got a scepter.
Oh man, have you broke open the PS5 yet at all? Still no plate?
No, dude, I have not.
Sheesh, you got to get on that.
I'm kind of
man.
waiting on. I bought a second controller, but I wanted to play that. What was it? It Takes Two. I want to play that with Emily first.
Yeah, that's a good one, especially for like your girlfriend. Like that's what I did with Lita, because it's an easy game to play for somebody that doesn't play video games often. You know, and it's fun.
Yeah, so I bought a controller probably 2 weeks ago, which I think actually what's today, the 15th? Yeah, it should have shown up by now.
Yeah, dude, you should try it out. It's a good way to pass the time.
We're also crushing through Wilfred right now, which is a pretty solid show.
Yeah, I don't remember if I finished that or not. I don't know if I got to the end.
Yeah,
But-
I made it through season 3 when I was in college, and then I never saw season 4, so I don't know how it ends.
Oh, you don't know how it ends. Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
You know, it probably ends in a way where they don't really give you any answers. That's what I'm guessing. They kind of leave it open to interpretation.
I like vaguely remember like bits and parts of it, but I don't know. A lot of it's not new, but it's just kind of like reminding me and shit. But like they had a lot of big not co-stars, but like cameos and stuff in that show. Robin Williams was like his like doctor, and then like he was in like dream sequences, but like he was in like the beginning of season 2.
Oh yeah,
Pretty cool.
yeah, that is cool. I remember it was a good show. Hey, what do you think about a bidet? You ever had one?
I have not. I've never tried one. I don't know what to think. I feel like that would just be kind of messy.
I think it's the opposite, doesn't it? Like, isn't it supposed to clean better?
Yeah, but then you got a wet ass.
Well, you dry it.
Well, you can't dry your ass.
I mean, would you rather have a wet ass or an ass covered with shit? You know?
I'd rather have a wet ass, I suppose, but why would I have a wet ass?
Well, if you use the bidet, you know? Anyways, I'm thinking about getting one, but I didn't know if you had any experience. You might be able to shed some light on how it works.
I know nothing. I know nothing of them. I might. I don't even know. I don't know if I trust one.
I don't know if I trust them.
I feel like I can fill my gym bottles a little bit better than with bidets.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering what temperature the water would be and if it hit my nuts or something, you know?
I mean, for something like that, you'd think you'd want to pay extra to have like the temperature control, because if you have to let it run for like 10 seconds before it's like room temperature, and it's like by that point it's not even enjoyable. Like, why would you even install that?
Well, dude, I would make the mistake of like turning the temperature too hot and like getting 3rd-degree burns on my taint or something. You know?
Well, yeah, dude. And then the next time you like shoot freezing cold water at your ass, and you're just like, the little nutties shrivel up so quickly it gives you a stomach ache, and then you throw up and you're crying a little bit, and you hit your head off the sink, and it gets going pretty wild, dude.
Yeah. All right, maybe I'll scratch that idea. Stick to the wet wipes.
Just give me the paper towels.
Paper
In a
towel.
Walmart bag.
This is a dumpster shit. This is not a flushable shit.
I'm gonna leave my mark. Dude, I'm almost done with season 2 of Better Call Saul.
Oh, you're ripping through it still, huh? Still giving it a whirl?
I am.
What do you think? Is
Yeah,
it getting
dude,
better?
it's,
Getting worse?
It is definitely getting a lot better. It's just
Yeah.
it's just different. It's like different types of action, because like it's so involved with the storyline, whereas
Yeah.
like Breaking Bad was, but to the extent like a lot of that storyline was like action, and this one is like somebody makes a phone call and makes a spooky face or something, like that's the holy crap, like that's
Yeah.
it's just very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's decent, man. I gave up on it. I watched the first 2 seasons too, and I like how season 2 ends. I remember the ending. I won't tell you, but I think I gave up halfway through season 3. I think is when I quit.
Yeah, I'll probably stick to it as long as I keep doing the treadmill every day. I'll do pretty good.
They
with it.
finished it, right? Like they're done the series now.
Yeah, I think there's like 4 or 5 seasons on Netflix, and then the last season just came out on FX, and it's gonna be coming, or no, AMC.
Yeah.
And hypothetically, by the time I'm done with the Netflix, the final season should be up. So then that way there's like no gap. But I mean, I'll watch it whenever.
You ever been to Bojangles?
Is that?
You ever heard of Bojangles?
I've heard of it, but I can't remember if I've had it.
I cracked the other day, and I went to a drive-through. I've been on this diet all month, and I'm at like 40 miles, by the way. Still doing my 3 miles a day.
It was gonna be you were gonna get me Bojangles when I was down visiting you.
Oh yeah,
That's what it was. Yeah.
okay.
No, I have not had it.
So I got a breakfast sandwich from there because I was fucking starving, dude. I was on the road. I had to wake up early for work. But he's like, "Okay, do you want some bow rounds? Do you want the bow rounds with that?" And I didn't hear him in the drive-through. I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Do you want the bow rounds?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And then he's yelled at me. He's like, "Bow rounds. Do you want the bow rounds?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't even know what that is." And he's like, "Hash browns." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, fine. I'll take hash browns." But he's annoyed at me that I didn't know what their fucky little fucking secret language is at Bojangles. Like, what? Just call them hash browns, bro. Why are you coming up with a cute little name for them? Why does every place have to have a cute name for something? Do you want the bow rounds? Just call them hash browns. Are they hash browns? Yes. Okay, call them hash browns. Why are you coming up with they're bow rounds, technically. Technically, they're a hash brown, you fuck. Jesus Christ. I'm not retarded because I don't know the fucking Bojangles menu by heart. Anyways, that happened. I am a sourpuss today, dude. I apologize.
It's all good, man.
What do you
We
think
all have
about
our
Dana
days.
White slapping his wife? Is anything going to happen to that guy?
I don't know. I think he's also too powerful to really get canceled, but I don't know. I've seen wackier things happen.
Yeah, but what do you think about it? Not like him getting canceled. What do you think about it? Do you know anything about, like, did you see the video?
No, I didn't know there was a video. All I heard was that he had some type of case on him, but no.
Oh, yeah, there's a video of him on New Year's Eve slapping his wife.
like a UFC like power slap, or
I
just
think-
like a shut up bitch?
I think she slapped him first, and he retaliated and fucking whacked her one. But they're at a club or something, and you can see it through like the window or something, and it's like him fucking slapping his wife in the face.
So what is she gonna lose all her shares for the UFC then because she started a fight with her husband, or what?
I have no idea.
I don't know where you're going with this. Is she getting jail time? Is that what's happening?
She? No, I don't think
Well,
anything's gonna happen.
she fucking started it, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't think anything's gonna happen. I just didn't know if you had seen it or not.
Yeah, I think his wife should settle down.
Did you watch Miss Universe?
Why the hell would I do that?
Yeah, it was on today or yesterday or whatever.
No, I didn't see it. You said Miss Universe?
Yeah, Miss Universe, like the pageant.
Is that like the really hot ones or the really muscular ones?
Well, there's a Mr. Universe, and those are the muscular dudes. I think Arnold won that. But then there's Miss Universe, which is a different thing. That's like a beauty pageant.
But it's not like super jack chicks?
No, it's just regular chicks. Like Trump used to own it.
Yo, you ever watch any of the videos of those guys doing parkour on the top of skyscrapers? Like where they're like jumping from like building to building, or doing like handstands or doing somersaults like on the edge of the building and shit. Like even just talking about it, I can like feel my hands starting to get sweaty, dude. It just that shit just skeeves me out.
Yeah, dude, that shit is wild. There's something missing in their brain where they just don't want to. They're not afraid of it, I think, or they need like that thrill.
But it's always like the best ones are like you can tell that they were filmed in like the Ukraine or Russia or something, like, and it's just a guy climbing a crane, like going all the way to the end of it, and then hanging with one arm, and then like GoPro in his other arm. He's just like, "Look at me!" It's like, what in the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah,
it's like Jesus.
Yeah.
Those guys got some freaking balls on them, that's for sure.
When I was a kid, I used to watch those the YouTube the parkour, and what was the other one called? Free running? Is that what it was called?
Oh yeah, free running.
Yeah, they would like be there'd be a car, and then they'd be driving the car, and they'd get out and they'd dance and do a bunch of tricks on the car, then jump back in. Or they would jump on buildings, and that stuff was cool back in the day. And then I remember they used it. Now it's just like such a regular thing in our culture to have that in every action movie, you know, like parkour stuff.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of like the gold standard now.
I remember when they first started doing it it was like in the early 2000s, maybe late 2008. I don't know, but it just became like a thing. It's just like a standard now, you know?
I mean, some of the stuff is real impressive. I mean, I saw a guy the other day just like literally jump from wall to wall, like over his back.
I
like
saw
5
that
times,
too.
and he climbs a wall that's like 30 feet high, and it's like, holy shit, dude! Like that's not like you should not be able to do that.
Yeah, like a video game, like jumping wall
it's
to
like
wall.
It's like Prince of Persia type stuff.
I saw that same exact thing. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, because the balcony's on the left, and he like jumps up and goes back and forth like 3 times.
Yep, he just jumps as much as he can and then dives to the other side, and he just does that like, I don't know, like 8 times, and somehow climbs this wall. It's freaking amazing, dude.
Yeah, dude. So we've been getting into tennis, and I was working, but there was a Dick's around where I was working, so I decided to go stop in and check out tennis racket prices. Tennis rackets are expensive, dude. I didn't realize. We ended up getting some cheap ones for like $50 each.
Oh wow!
But they have tennis rackets in Dick's for like a couple $100, a couple $100 bones a piece. So I'm walking through Dick's, and this lady's like, "Excuse me," and I turn around, and I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Do you know where the softball stuff is?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I think I saw it over there." And so she goes over there, and then I'm like looking for the tennis stuff, and then another guy comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, where can I find this something else?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have no idea." He's like, "Really?" And then I realize I'm wearing a green polo shirt in Dick's.
Yep.
And these 2 people thought I worked there.
That's like an old school video just waiting to happen, dude. Give you a fake name tag and just go into Dick's.
Yeah. So my next shift is on Tuesday. I'm gonna go back. But
They might as well pay you, man.
Yeah, what's that old joke? If you want a job, just show up and just start working, and eventually they'll pay you.
Might as well, dude. Good way to do it.
I had this green polo shirt. I wear a polo shirt for work sometimes. But I was like, come on, man. Out of all the sports stores, I had to go to Dick's. Green polo shirt. Just worked out.
It just works out like that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's this horse down the street, dude. And I'm trying to figure this out. I got to look this up. This horse is fenced in, but it's always blindfolded and it always has a muzzle on. Isn't that weird?
Isn't that what they put on horses when it's cold?
I don't know. Well, it's not like a jacket. It's like a blindfold. Like, it's just blindfolded.
Is it like covering his eyes or is it like blinders?
No, like covering his eyes. Like, you can't see. Isn't that weird?
I don't know, man. Somebody called PETA.
And it's got a muzzle on, too, so it can't eat. But it's,
Is PETA still a thing?
Oh, yeah, totally. It has to be, right?
I mean, for how freaking woke everybody is nowadays, like you would imagine PETA would be running the goddamn world.
Well, people are reasonable and people need to eat still. That's the thing. So, I think we've gotten a lot better about animal cruelty, though. You know,
Yeah, I would say so.
overall.
I mean, but personally, I don't care if my chicken like could walk around or not. I'm just gonna eat it. So
Yeah, chickens are a different thing, but, you know, mammals for sure. I want to take care of them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit. We already got like 54 minutes, dude. We should, well, before I cut out the beginning, because of all the racial slurs I might have said when we first started.
Yeah, those are a good way to warm up, though. I'll admit.
Yeah, good way. I just scream as many racial slurs as I can right off the bat. It usually gets the blood bumping.
Go back.
Well, I know I gotta record every Sunday, gotta release every Sunday, do it every week, no matter how you feel, because you gotta keep the content stream going, keep the people happy. And is there anything you need to plug other than my ass before we get off this thing?
Threw out a couple YouTube shorts, and I made a heavy metal. I shot footage at a foundry a couple years ago, and I edited together footage to a heavy metal song, and it came out pretty sweet. So
Nice.
we'll see when that comes out. But yeah, dude, it's like I keep watching it over and over again on my phone. It's like, damn, that's pretty cool. But I put the intro up on YouTube too, which looks kind of cool. So
Sweet. That sounds cool. All right, cool. Check it out, folks. And stay creamy. We'll see you in a week.
keep it creamy.